Hello everyone, this is Jashan from the Australian Academy, and today we are going to discuss yet another one of the important cue cards that we have. So the topic of today's cue card is talk about a famous person in another country you want to meet in future. Now this cue card, as soon as we read, we get to know about the tense that's involved, that is the future tense. Now let's read out the questions. The first question is, who is that person? You need to identify them. When did you come to know? It asks the time period or maybe a couple of years ago. What would you like to do with him or her? Now this last question is wanting you to talk about certain activities that you plan on doing with the person. Now when we have read the cue card topic, we got to know that we need to talk about a person, but that person needs to be an international personality, right? And the cue card today is talking about the future tense. So make sure everything that you're talking about is going to be in the future tense. The first question, you will have to identify the person and you can add certain details to their personal information. The second question is, how did you get to know? So did you hear about them? Did someone tell you about it? Or maybe did you stumble upon them accidentally? The last question is going to be about the activities. Now I have drawn a specific example for you to know how can we deal with the topic. Now in the circle that we have, we generally call this the body. In the body, you have to write down the topic that you're going to talk about. Now I have picked up the main word that we have. We are going to talk about a famous person and you are going to meet them and in the future. Why have I written this word? So that it reminds me again and again that I need to talk about in future tense. Now, just like I told you in the previous cue card video, we do not have to start directly answering the question. What are we going to do? We are going to start with an introduction. Now, for today's cue card, we can start the introduction as, fame is the acquired thing that comes out of the remarkable achievements of a person, meaning that if we do something significant in any field, that is going to bring us fame, making us famous. After that, famous people are from all the arenas. Now arenas are different sections. You can talk about the sports people that are famous, celebrities, politicians, anyone who can be famous. These 2 points have given me a start. So I got to know that I have started my introduction with introducing what? Fame. How is it achieved? In which areas are people famous? Once I'm done giving the introduction, I am now going to jump on answering the first question. Now for this, I have chosen the personality, that is Barack Obama. Now this is strictly personal. You can choose any certain international personality that you know of. So now you're going to move on to answering first question, and you need to say that the personality that entices me is Barack Obama, who is the 44th president of the United States of America. So by this piece of information, the person got to know that you have now answered the first question. You have identified who the person is. Now we are going to move on to the next question. For that, we can talk about the first time when he was elected the president of US. That was way back in 2009. So I got to know about the person in 2009 when he stood up in the US presidential elections and won by a majority vote. And he is also the first African American. Now this is something that the extras we add. Always try that whenever you are answering the questions, you're adding something extra. Once we have covered the first 2 questions, we are now going to move on to the lengthier part. That is my third question, the activities that we'll be doing. Now, when we are moving on to this section, you can start off by saying that the election of Barack Obama in the US history has broken the conservative outlook against the black people. Now, we all know that before Barack Obama was elected, all the previous presidents of US were used to be whites, but he was the first black one to be elected. And he has also eliminated the universal threats such as Osama bin Laden. Now, if you don't want to go into that much of depth, you can just present as many information pieces that you know about the person. This is something that I knew of, so this is something that I've prepared. You do not have to go that much into depth. The things you know are the things you're going to speak about. Now, once I've also told the person the things related to him, we are now going to actually target the third question's answer here. The things that I would like to share with the person are the ideological perspectives that we have. So we are going to exchange them regarding, or you can say leading to, world peace, right? Because we always know that certain people who are way popular always target world peace. Now, when we have covered major part of the cue card, we need to end it at a good note as well. We can say that I would also like to play basketball, which is his favorite game, and I plan on bonding on an intellectual level with that person. Now, this is something that you want to do, right? So these are your expectations that you're going to add. You can include your expectations, you can end it on any note that you want, but make sure that you are ending it on a good note. And yes, as the introduction is important, the same way the conclusion is also important. So this is one way of solving the cue card. You can solve it in your own ways, talking about the different people that you know of, but make sure that you are not randomly picking out any famous person. You need to have certain knowledge about that person. So I suppose this cue card's solution might have helped you, and the next time you will be able to solve it on your own.